Joining me now with more on the withdrawal of Larry Summers and the state of the U.S. economy 5 years after the Lehman Brothers collapse is Atiba Madyun of the Madyun Group, a government relations consulting firm. We want to welcome you to the show. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with Larry Summers. Just last week, a Japanese newspaper reported he's the guy, and now he withdraws. A bit of a surprise to you?
I was a little bit surprised, especially considering the fact that he's been such a great asset, I think, to the president. In terms of from the beginning when the president came in with the economic crisis to now, and it will be interesting to see now what the political fallout will be and who will step forward. I think that there's another person who some others would like to see in that position.
Would have been pretty much everyone talking Larry Summers or Janet Yellen, but you think there might be another candidate might emerge?
Right now with this, I don't know. You know, it always seems like there's something else that we don't know. So it'll be interesting to see how this is going forward.
And here's a look at Summers as we talk about this. There's a new film out now, a documentary called Money for Nothing by Jim Bruce, which pins a lot of blame on the recession on the Fed. There was another film by David Singleton called The Flaw, which kind of hammered Alan Greenspan. Does the Fed share some of the blame for what happened with this recession, do you believe?
I think that this has been something that's been going on for a long time. It seems that when we talk about with the administration has inherited perhaps a culture of, I don't want to say irresponsibility, but there's a culture that has put us in the position that we are in right now. Where this goes and how we get out of this is what I think the president is now trying to address and to put some things into place that hopefully in the next 10 to 20 years we won't look back and have the same problems that we're having right now.
The president kind of sounded an optimistic note, but yet if you look at the statistics, the wealthy have recovered quite nicely from this affair, and the middle class and the low income still very much struggling in the United States of America. That doesn't seem like an optimistic look at all if you're just a regular person looking at this.
Yeah, if you look at the numbers right now, we're seeing that the wealthy are getting richer, the poor, the income gap is widening. Some of the statistics and the numbers are showing that in 2012, that 10% of the top income earners made 50.4% of the overall income of the country last year. That's a big gap, and I think that some of the what we're seeing is that that's the biggest gap since 1917. So we've got to figure out some ways to close the gap. You've got low-income workers that are now starting to voice their opinions about this and walking out on jobs and saying that they feel that the minimum wage should go up to $15 an hour. So a lot of this perhaps is bringing everyday Americans back to the fold and saying, hey, I need to take more responsibility for myself and let my voice be heard.
You know, there was a lot of complaints in this country about, you know, bailing out Wall Street but not helping out Main Street. We saw a lot of people suffering during this recession. Are there really things in place now that you would say that would ensure that this never happens again?
You know, there's some that are saying that what we did in terms of fixing the financial problems is a myth. But as we move forward, I think that a lot of this really is also Americans taking more responsibility and being more aware of some of the issues that are going on and how it's going to impact their everyday lives. Unfortunately, it took an economic collapse for us to get to that point.
We're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for coming in this evening. Certainly appreciate it.